I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have a little bit of a field day with this topic. Specifically because I've been watching this since the very beginning and I knew this shit was gonna spiral out of control. So let's talk about how ABGs took over tech marketing. Now, if you've been online at all, you might see a lot of UGC. Now, what is UGC? And I'll briefly, I guess, I'll illustrate that for you real quick. So UGC is user generated content. And that basically means you make video, I guess like however many it can be, let's say 30. I pay you based on views or a flat rate, and then you promote company. That's it. That's literally all there is to it. And that has been going around for a while. The last, I guess, like 2 years and stuff, it has spiraled out of control, and it has involved like a lot of different tech companies. And I'll go over this. So the first being AI study app. So how did like this ABG marketing come to be? I believe it resonated and came from this guy named Roy Lee over here. He founded the company Cluely. Cluely's goal was basically, he said, and I quote, cheat on everything. And that didn't really go well for him. And he had like a bunch of issues with this company. He ran out of money, and then he pivoted towards AI note taking, which all these other companies had already caught on to. And yeah, he's not doing too well. So yeah, that kind of sucks for his company. But yeah, so this guy named Roy Lee, he decided he was looking at, I guess, like social media or analysis of things going on up there, and he was basically like, how can I market everything better for my app to get more publicity? Because he converted, one of his former products into the startup. And so basically, there's a bunch of study apps now that are vibe coded and targeted towards students who have a high risk of spending and who want to get good grades because they know how powerful AI can be, even though there's like the free ones. Some people are just like so lazy that they will be willing to pay, a subscription based model to help them, get out of doing work. And they have the money, and they are high risk people, so they're able and willing to spend it. So yeah, and the way that they get these people is through social media, UGC, how I mentioned before, UGC. Because we're always on social media, or Gen Z in general has, out of any generation, spends the most time on social media and consumes a lot of different content. And so we're going to pipeline that to Instagram and TikTok where they're most active. And there's all these other companies now. There's like these are the three main ones. There's Clearly, StudyFetch, and Turbo AI. I'm not affiliated or partnered with them, but these are the main ones that you'll see a lot of these videos on that I'm talking about. And I'm gonna give, I guess, like a theory or as to why I think Roy may have done it in this way because of the social context of social media and the things that happen around it. So the goal is basically to monopolize the use of ABs. Not monopolize, like a funny word to use in this context, but be the first to do so and have success in doing it in this way. Obviously, in general, this is at the end of the day just UGC marketing, right? You take a person, allow them to create videos about it. But instead of allowing that person to post it on their personal, they make a new page, and it allows for more reach and not for them to damage their own brand. So typically in the past, you would kind of have this sort of model. So you would have influencer, and then you would have pay $40 flat plus a bonus, and then you would, this is a big thing. It's like 1x post. But now instead we're basically just going like this. We're going to give you the bonus and incentives only if the video does well so that it can convert. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have you do, I don't know, like 30 posts or something like that. 30 posts instead, basically, is how they're doing things right now. And that still is not working as well as they would like. In any case, I think most of the things that it's influenced by in the rise of ABG marketing is one, memes. A lot of memes go around about like, Asian girls being attractive, or going to Japan trip, or visiting China. I feel like a lot of the media from Asia has come over to the US. K-pop is another big example. K-pop is pretty huge in America as well. Anime, stuff like that. That's all originating from Asia, and so as a result, people are more likely to be in tune with these, I don't know, these individuals or people. That's just a theory. I don't fucking know. Like honestly, that's the only thing I could really come up with. And so those are influenced by all the apps that we have. So if this person is emotionally appealing to you in some way, we'll talk about, I guess, those factors. You are more likely to have it convert. But I would like to point out that attractiveness does not necessarily mean conversion here. I guess that in theory, that is the idea behind it. That the more attractive that you are, or the more that you're better at selling yourself because of these social factors that it will allow people to convert and use your app more. Now, that is not necessarily the case, simply because a person telling you to indirectly use something, because the videos directly themselves are not advertisements. I'll show you an example of this. Let's go over here. I'll get to the example last. So, these are examples that I got even from my For You page, which is crazy, how wide they have spread. But there's these two influencers here who had made new channels, or I guess social media accounts, basically, to post this sort of content, which you're required to do. And basically, the goal of each of these accounts is to just promote, I don't know, some sort of study product. So we have Study Buddy Julia and we have Ella Wang. Now, mind you, by the way, there are also this person is not AI, but I don't know, for some reason at first when I viewed their account, it reminded me of AI. There are AI influencers now that are very good, and they're specifically doing AI ABG influencers now. That's a whole nother video topic I want to talk about. But in any case, these two people, they promote, I don't know, some sort of study app, but they do it in a way that towards the end or towards the middle, it gets you to either hear the app or see what they're doing. And those start by getting your attention. These are just basic social media and like basic content creation things. They start off with a question or they'll say something controversial. Basically, just try to rage bait you into watching the whole video. And like this person, like you can see, and I guess like this down over here, like they have hashtag Clash Royale, hashtag StudyGram, all these sort of tags that would appeal to people of different backgrounds, but it doesn't matter as long as they're a student at the end of the day, right? So this is media fuel. Like we're fueling. There's two types of fuel. So that's the power I just talked about. But the coal is the popularity of media around Asian females in general. Like in general, like the media about them has substantially increased. And then there's also stereotypes and fetishization. That's more of like, I don't know. I feel like that is like on an individual level, how you personally see that sort of thing, or how you see people across the world. That is like very individual thing. That is like dating. That is like I don't know, racism, sexism, homophobia, like all of those things that you think about in your brain about a person, that kind of plays a little bit into here about, are you attracted to this person because of their personality, their traits? Are you fetishizing them just because they're Asian? There's videos about that online and stuff like that. There's like, what is it, like the Oxford study or something like that. People criticize, or some people support, some people would say it's fake. I'm not going to go into that, but I think that's definitely like some of the fuel to the flame here that people talk and discuss about it. And then you have like this media that comes out. You're, let's say like you're an Asian female and you're making these sort of videos and stuff like that. I mean, it's going to do it's going to have some sort of success at the end of the day because of these stereotypes, fetishization, and popularity around you, and like in the increase in general of like attention on Asia, for a number of factors, like whether it be China, people going to Japan, beauty, lifestyle, like stuff in Korea, whatever it may be. So that sort of thing. That's the goal. The power is, using all of these sort of things that we have discussed here in the goal and converting that into power, which is basically what I think Roy Lee kind of recognized in some sort of case. I'll get into this instinct example, but they feed these stereotypes on media to convey some sort of like message or emotion to you that because you have consumed all this other content and that has had an impact on you in some sort of way if you haven't realized it. That's emotional, like in general, emotional marketing. They're appealing to you in some sort of way. Like, just like it is very much the case that for some people, just because this person is Asian and a female, that you will be some sort of more likely to be able to buy this sort of product or follow this person or interact with it, whatever it may be, whatever metric, because that is just factual. You have been online for a long time and you have seen a bunch of social media and content. We are social people, that it has impacted you in some sort of way. And so as it continues to popularize, it spirals across all these tech companies. They continue to replicate it. They see it does well, and that's kind of like a continuous cycle and loop that is kind of happening right now. And I kind of this is a crazy example, and a lot of like controversial sort of like startups and stuff has done this. So this is Instinct. Instinct basically, one of the people that worked at what was it, Cluely, one of the people that worked on Cluely, they're not in here. Basically, he broke off and did his own like UGC sort of company called Instinct, and they basically want to have any average person be able to do UGC, and they pay you a flat rate to make videos for all companies and stuff like that. And this was kind of like a little bit controversial, this post. So it says, this is from Twitter. Hey, I'm Chow. I'm excited to join the chief of staff. I'm still in high school. I just relocated to SF. you're still in high school. You're feeding into this like ABG sort of like marketing thing, and you're in SF and you're doing all this. So we need to think about a few things here. One, underage. Two, I mean, they could. I don't know if they are or not. I just found this sort of thing and I saw it was relevant. Two, experience. Like, does this person genuinely have the experience? Three, good marketing. Now you could be like, "Oh, this is controversial. This is kind of stupid." Yes, but attention. That is like one of the things that I guess back to Roy Lee again. He kind of pioneered is that attention equals growth. Yes and no in some sort of ways. But I think, this sort of like example is kind of outrageous in a sort of sense. But in any case, like this, I guess these are the two main points that I want to make here is this experience in marketing. So does this person actually have the experience? No. Is it good marketing? Yes. Is it rage bait? Yes. Did people fall for it and, recognize that Instinct is an actual company? Yes, because they're doing lots of money right now. Whether this person is operating it or not, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I think this is like a general overview. I think there's a lot more to it, and you could study a lot more about how these companies actually go about marketing, finding these people, and stuff like that. But yeah,